If anyone has ever called you up to get you to pay for your Google listing, it's an outright scam. Well, it mostly is a scam. It's probably a scam. You can do everything that you need to do to get your business listed thoroughly on Google for free. And the best part is that you can start doing it right now. You don't need anyone's help to do it. Let's roll the intro and get started. Marketing, advertising, and business have never been more accessible in history, and it only gets better every year. But it's hard work, overwhelming, and easy to fall down a distracted path. I'm Eric Soper.
Stop marketing to yourself. You are not your customer.
And I'm here to help you design for success in your systems, your digital presence, your strategy, and your brand positioning. Come along and we'll walk the road of the entrepreneur together, whether you are an entrepreneur yourself or a marketing titled professional. Welcome to the Clarity Business Design Show. Today we are talking about Google My Business, which is a fantastic, free, and powerful way to interface directly with the Google algorithms in a way that can help your business achieve new search rankings and gain more customers and educate people who are looking for services of your nature in your area. Now, you may have already set this up. You may have gone in there. Google may have prompted you when you set up your Gmail account to claim your business, set up your business hours, put a website in. But we're going to talk a little bit more about what you can do to really take advantage of the opportunities that Google puts out for you. And even if you've already set up your listing once, it's time to get back in there, not just now, not just tomorrow, but on a regular basis to really take advantage of the Google search algorithm. We're going to talk about what you can do and why you should be doing more of that. Here are some powerful and easy tips to make the most of your amazing Google My Business resource. Tip number 1, use posts to tell Google that you are in business today. Just claiming your listing on Google is not enough to set you apart from the competition. There are lots of businesses who have a minimal listing on Google. Maybe they have their website attached, maybe they've set their hours, they have a contact us button. If they are feeling like it, they'll probably upload 1 or 2 images when they're in there setting up those settings, add a logo, add some photos of the storefront or maybe even some of the products. And then they'll go about their day, marketing, selling, providing customer service, and forget entirely about it and most likely never touch it again until their clients start leaving them reviews on Google. And this is a huge opportunity for you. You have the option right now to stand out from the other businesses that offer what you offer by actively participating in the Google My Business posts system. What is the posts system? This is what Google My Business offers for businesses to provide a stream of consistent updates that showcase relevant information, recent events, news and updates, new pictures on a regular basis, a lot like a social media feed. Now, people aren't going to be scrolling through and seeing your posts the same way they might on Facebook or on LinkedIn. However, your most recent posts are going to show up first when people are searching for your business specifically, so people who are interested in your business and searching on Google for your business, which are likely going to consist of most of your search results anyway, they will see your most recent posts, and seeing that you are active and participating online can be a great thing when you're on Google. But that's not where the magic lies. I have a client who's working on developing their Google presence, and what they found is that when they started posting regularly to Google Posts, sharing photos of their work, showing text snippets alongside those photos, talking about the service and the process that goes into creating that work. When we were looking at the results a little bit later and looking at how her business was showing up in the search terms for a few of the different services that she offers, what we found is that the Google results that were highlighting components of her business, specifically the testimonials and the posts, the results were pulling relevant posts and testimonials out of the library that was available. So looking for one service, it pulled up the posts that had that service somewhere in the text. And it pulled up the reviews, the testimonials where the client had written about their experience with that particular and specific service. In the time that she's spent posting regularly on Google Business, her website ranking and her search traffic has improved. This tells us a couple of things. Like any sort of algorithmic network out there, Google likes to see users engaged with its tools and its platforms. Anytime you're able to plug into the Google ecosystem, whether it be through using Google Analytics, Google Webmaster Tools, or Google My Business, it's always a great idea to do so, and they like seeing the information. Why do they like seeing the information? Well, Google is the #1 search engine in the world, and they are built upon one thing and one thing only: serving the most relevant information as accurately as possible to their users. Don't believe me? Google's official mission statement is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. I was simply paraphrasing. All that to say, use the opportunities that Google puts in front of you to not only learn about how your business is performing on Google, but to actively feed information to the algorithm to make your information accessible and useful to their users. So let's talk a little bit more about posts on Google My Business. And in case you haven't signed up, go to business.google.com right now and get started with whatever free Google account you have on hand. You can attach it to multiple free Google accounts or even the Google Workspace, or formerly known as G Suite, business accounts, and have multiple team members engaged in your Google My Business platform all at once. You can engage by, again, sharing photos of what you're doing. If your business is out in the community, getting involved with local fundraisers or golf tournaments or marathons, other social events of that nature, you can post those, just like you would to Facebook, to Google as well. And there are a plethora of tools available out there for managing multiple social media platforms at once. You can just pick one that also supports Google Business. You can post news about new products, about new services, about events that you have coming up, not just in the posts section of the Google My Business dashboard, but also inside of specific corners of that dashboard designed to host that information. For example, the products do have their own category where you can list them, and then they are shown in the Google Shop search and in other ways that Google likes to frame the products. But you can then also post about those products in your posts feed, much like you would on a Facebook feed or a LinkedIn feed or even a Twitter feed. You can use a lot of characters in your posts, but when the posts are displayed in your Google Business listing next to the search results, people aren't going to see very much. So make sure that the first sentence is incredibly engaging and interesting and basically sums up what you're trying to tell people. If you can attach any sort of visual media that is unique, that is authentic, not stock photos, not random illustrations, make sure that it's highly relevant to what you're saying in the post so that people can at a glance gain insight into what it is you're talking about. And then if they want to, they can click and read on more. If not, they can move on, try and contact you, whatever originally brought them to you through Google in the first place. And once again, this doesn't cost anything to do. You or someone on your team can do this 100% for free. It doesn't have to be just you. It's easily delegated. Truly, the best way to gain insight into using Google My Business is to search on Google about how to use Google My Business. Their help resources are extremely useful and focus on getting as many people as possible engaged thoroughly with the tools that they have. It's aligned with their mission statement, and yes, we can talk about nefarious reasons for wanting to run a worldwide search engine full of data mining, but that's not why we're here. You and I are here to grow your business, and if you are going to grow your business in this decade, in this century even, it's important to play the game with the rules of the game as they are currently established. And the rules of the game are Google's #1, so let's use Google as best we can to our ends. Do you want to use a different search engine while you're on your phone? Sure, go for it. Use Yahoo, use DuckDuckGo, use anything else but Google if you prefer. I do that most of the time. But do not discount that Google is number one still and will remain for a long time unless something dramatic happens. And so you want your business to be thoroughly established and engaged in feeding information into the algorithm that can bring money into your business, that can bring users, customers, and impact back into your business online. So that was tip number 1. Use posts to tell Google that you're in business. Keep a current stream going. Keep Google up to date. And always remember, when you're posting to Google or any other social media, post for the people that matter most to your business. Don't broadcast just to everyone out there in the world. Remember to tailor your content for a specific audience. Tip number 2, get specifics in your reviews. For the last 10 years or more, you have probably heard that it's important to leave reviews on Google. You've had businesses and restaurants you interact with ask you for Google reviews. You've probably heard other business consultants and coaches like myself saying how important it is to get reviews on Google. Everyone's going to tell you that it's important because it is. You want to have a high review score on Google. However, there's additional nuance that you can ask for when you are curating these reviews from your own customer base. This is especially useful if you have multiple services that you offer inside your business and you are collecting reviews for different components of your business as you operate. For example, Clarity Business Design offers consulting and marketing coaching, but also website design and development, brand identity design, logo design, and a series of supportive services that all add up into our total platform design experience. So the people who choose us to work on either their whole platform or some components of the platform, they may have an incomplete picture of what we do and can really only speak to one area of our business. But if they leave a review for that area of the business that they know, that contributes to us helping to find other people like them who have that same need that we can help and support. You'll want to do the same thing for your business, especially if you're in a multifaceted business, which most people are. It is very rare for businesses to do only one thing and do it exceptionally well. Most businesses have some depth to their service offerings or products, one of which they may do extraordinarily well, and everything else goes into supporting that primary effort. And another way that you can ask your customers to be specific in their reviews and help your business grow, and this is going to be true for you local businesses, is they can mention where in the world they are. So if you're a business in Seattle and you want to stand out among other businesses in your industry in Seattle, ask your customers to mention that they live in Seattle in their testimonials, because that will become a factor when Google is searching for that service in Seattle, and it'll pull those reviews and your posts about Seattle-based service when people are looking at your Google My Business listing, either next to the search results or inside of the Google map. So to summarize tip number 2, ask your customers and your audience at large to leave specific reviews that highlight what your strengths are and where you best offer your strengths geographically. Moving on to tip number 3, post consistently. Here's the thing about your Google My Business listing. It will reach some people who never visit your website. A fraction of the people who search for things that your website may speak to will actually click through to your listing instead of somebody else's on page 1 of Google or in that little mini map that shows up at the top of the Google search results. They have other listings competing for their attention, and they have Google Ads competing for their attention. If you happen to have their attention for even a split second, you want recent information and interesting information to be present. Posts on Google My Business are a great way to highlight what's new and happening in your business, and most people don't take the time to do this for their businesses on Google, which means that you have an opportunity to stand out and differentiate your business from the other ones that are doing just the bare minimum. Thanks for listening. Take care. We'll see you in the next episode. If you've enjoyed this episode, we would love to hear from you. Find the Clarity Business Design Show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Feel free to subscribe and leave us a review to help us reach a wider audience. It means a lot to us and helps us grow. And if you need help developing concepts from this episode in your business or organization, consider visiting our website, www.claritybusiness.design, and schedule a consultation to see if Clarity Business Design is the right fit for your design, marketing, and strategy needs.